Okay, my name is Cliff Singleton. Our company is NexGen Framing System. I introduced you to my wife Rita in the back. She's my assistant for 45 years, so she knows as much about this as I do, so feel free to ask her any questions after it's over too. But we appreciate you coming out here tonight. We're very anxious to get this owner-builder program going, and I have 40 years of experience in the building industry, so I can tell you everything you shouldn't do, and I'm going to hope I can help you do some of the right things. But what we'd like to do is work with you, and we're going to go through the steps here. There's 4 basic steps to building a house. So let me just go through this slide presentation, and then we're going to have a question and answer anyone's questions for you. We basically want to teach you the inside, the hidden secrets to building a home. And really you're going to find out there's no hidden secrets about it. It's just a methodology that you go through, and we'll show you how to accomplish all that. You'll have a complete version of our planning project, a guide that comes to all of our clients that wants to proceed and have us work with them to build their home. Then we have a complete manual that we give you step by step, and the budgets and the scheduling and everything, how you do it. We're America's premier energy efficient builder. What we do is we build zero energy homes, and what that means is by the U.S. energy standards, any home operating at 50% or less of a normal house in the area is considered a zero energy home. Now if you want a net zero energy home, you can add a small solar panel and basically have no energy, but we're going to show you how to save about 60 to 80% of your electricity costs, how we build a house and how we cool it, and the lighting package that we're going to suggest. So it's going to be very, maybe not cost effective to even want to put a solar panel on it, because the recovery time is 20 years, and if it may wear out in 20 years. We don't know yet, because we don't know how long they really will last. But there is some federal tax credits out there, and this is why a lot of people are putting them in. But it's good for cocktail bragging rights if you want to say you're selling power back to the power company. and there's nothing wrong with that. So we have a house, and we're going to show it to you in a little bit, down in Jupiter, Florida. And the planning guide that we're going to show you is, I'm having a hard time. We're going to introduce you to our planning guide and our method of doing it, and we have Rob Walker here tonight. He's one of our lead architects in our company, and he works with you to get the first phase of the project started. Who are owner builders and what are they doing? Basically, we're looking for people that want to build their own home and save money. The cost of homes has gotten so high, and the overhead for the contractors have gotten so high. I have nothing against contractors, because I am a contractor also, have been for a long time. What we want to do is just show you how you can be the contract manager. Because today's contractors, the modern day contractors, are really mostly construction managers. They sub everything out. So we're going to help you through that phase of finding the right subcontractor so it makes it comfortable for you. Where's the owner builder community? It's everywhere. Stop and think back to history. If you go back far enough, you'll find houses in the Sears and Roebuck catalog that people bought and put up themselves. And that's what we want to go back. Everything goes in full circle, I believe. So we want to go back and generate that enthusiasm and cost savings to be able to build your own. They did it out of necessity. We're going to do it out of convenience and building a more modern home. Who is NexGen? Basically, we're a company that manufactures our own panelized system. What we do is we design the house for you, then we take it and we turn it into a kit. It's like an erector set. And we bring it out, deliver it on a truck, and we pick it up and set it and bolt it down to your slab and build all the interior walls. We build all the roof trusses, and everything has been tested at the Hurricane Test Laboratory to be able to withstand high missile impact, which means 2x4 shot at it at 65 miles an hour. and then they put it up on a wall, and they suck it in and out 10,000 times to simulate wind conditions, and they measure how far it comes in and how far it comes back to its original position. So we've been certified to be able to pass the 180 mile an hour wind codes. So what we're doing is building you a house that's going to be able to withstand the forces of nature up to about a Category 5 storm. It would, we're not going to say it's ever tornado proof, because tornado is a whole different category. The wind resistance, on the way we design and build a house, we have no attic ventilation. We don't want any wind getting in the roof. That's where the problem starts. If you get too much wind in the roof, lifts the roof off your house. Doesn't matter what the house is built out of. If the roof is gone, that house is ruined. So what we want to do is be able to stop that. And also, that's part of our energy package we're going to explain to you. We're going to take you through the process and the planning guide and show you the hidden secrets of home building, and how we use the guide. At NexGen, we're knowledge and experienced. We have a group of people from planners, architects, draftspeople, all the way through to the finished product. We have contractors that will be putting your house up if you so desire, and that's what we do. We build that package for you so you're comfortable with it. We can finish it on the exterior till it looks like it's 100% finished, and you open the front door and there's nothing but just an empty shell. All the walls would be there, but that would be it. That's your job then, to take it and finish it, and we'll help you through that process. Using this planning guide, it requires us to introduce you to 3 key questions that will need to be answered in the process. Who is NexGen? I've kind of explained that to you in the organization that we have. When does the project planning begin? The project planning begins tonight. That's what you're here for, to learn how to start thinking about and what the next steps are to go. How does the owner-builder stay organized? That's a good question. We have actually a chart. We have an online live scheduling program that we introduce you to, and it will be your plan, and you will be able to go live on it and maintain it and keep it, so you'll always stay organized and know what you need, when you need it, and be able to have your subcontractors to schedule, so you'll be able to stay on schedule. This is available for anyone to look at after the meeting. The dream it phase, that's the first phase to building. We say if you can sketch it on a napkin, we can design it for you. All we need is for you to dream what you like to have, because that's what you should do start with. Don't worry about anything, just what it is you would like to have. And then once we start putting it down on paper, then there'll be some the things that you're going to find out, and the key questions that you need to answer in the dreaming phase is basically, do you understand what you want and what you can afford? That's kind of the limitation, if any at all. But you shouldn't worry about that in the beginning, because and then we need to develop a storyboard. One of the very first things you need to do is understand the whole house planning process. What you're going to put on the outside of it, what color you're going to have, what the insides are going to be. So we want to teach you how to build that board that you go around and collect all these samples and make that up, so you have that plan all the way through. Who's going to be on your project team? You start assembling people, getting together. First of all is we meet and we start planning, like I said, the floor plan and the drawings, and once we come up with some sketches, then we bring in some recommended subcontractors. But the beauty part about this is you can do it to whoever you want to. There's nobody that you got to use. The only thing we do is we do have to put the shell up. I mean, that is the structural part of the house, and we got to stand behind the quality of that. And then how do you estimate the cost for residential design? We're going to show you how to do that. We break a cost chart out for you. We itemize everything that's going to be involved in building that house. And we teach you how to go out and secure bids and go to shopping and this type of thing to get those costs down. And as we proceed through the dream portion of the planning guide, all these answers are going to come into play. Design it. The next phase is like I say, we're going to get you in, have you come in our office, work with our architect, and start designing the house based on what your dreams are. We got 6 more key questions that basically need to be answered, and that is how you choose a developable building site. First thing you got to do is understand where you're going to build, find your lot or whatever it needs to be, understand if it is buildable as it is, or if there's work got to be done to it so we can get a cost handle and we can lay your house out that's actually going to fit on the lot that you want to do it on. Then we start putting the places together to choose and develop the house plan. What products and materials is going to be specified. We want to get all that on your drawings. Then we start looking for the subcontractors and start actually putting your team together that's going to help you build your house. Now, how about getting a pre-approved loan? Some of you may not need financing. A lot of you I know are cash buyers. Some people need a small amount of financing. Some people will need more financing. We have mortgage brokers and mortgage people that can work with you on in loans. And if needed, we have people, investors, that will help you through the construction phase. Because the one thing the banks won't hardly do is help you with the construction loan. And so we have investors going to work with you and help you through that phase of it. And then when will the initial project review occur? That basically is an ongoing thing as each step that we do. We'll proceed through the designing portion of the project, and we start with the planning guide, and there'll be all these answers will come into play because it'll be part of that plan that you have designed. The next is the bid it phase. We have to take the specifications that we've created in the house plan, and then we start going out to the subcontractors to get hard numbers for you. You'll go down to the home stores and start looking for things that you're going to do and pricing it out so we can put all that back together, and then we're going to help you fill out your budget. The key questions involved in the bid it phase is you got to finalize the house plan and the specifications, because you need to give a plan to a subcontractor and he needs to know exactly what you want and the materials you want to use. How we initiate the project startup, we'll go through and make a plan out just like we showed you on the chart, and how that's going to happen and the day it's going to actually start. What you'll use for your standard bidding process, in our guide we're going to have all those forms for you, and you'll just be able to fill it out, and it'll be like a plug and play deal. Who will be on your project team and under what conditions, that will be part of the ongoing process as the bids and stuff come in. You'll decide that. When and how will the project final review? Basically, after you collect all your subcontractors and everything, we're going to give you as much time as it takes to sit down and help you, offer you any advice. We're not going to tell you what to do. We're just going to offer our help and advice to help you plan and make sure that everything is good for you. But this is your project and you're going to build it. And as you proceed through that process, you're going to see the answers to all these questions are important. The next, you get into the build it phase. When you get into the build it phase, then you're going to begin your project, and then there's some other key questions that's going to have to be answered, and that part is you're going to have to understand how your construction draw is going to work, how you're going to pay your subcontractors, how you're going to buy the materials and things like this. We have a plan figured out for you for that, and we'll have a complete budget to help you do that. How will you're going to manage a budget process? There again, it's just a repetition that we're going to work with you to do that. What do you need to do to establish your building site? We've in the past, we've already told you about, we have to pick out the building site and understand what it is, and then we start processing a plot plan, get a survey done, all the things you need to do to start the process off. When will the materials be delivered to the job site? We're going to have that on the schedule and show you what day everything has to be, so it's there for the subcontractors or for yourself. If you're doing a lot of the work yourself, you got to know when all this stuff needs to hit the job site, and it'll be your responsibility as the contractor to make sure that happens. Who's going to be responsible for supervising and maintaining quality control? That's you. We're going to teach you and work with you and help you manage every step of it. And when will the work be completed? That's why we're going to build a schedule, so you'll know when each phase of it is supposed to be completed, and that way we'll go through that step by step with you. So basically, the owner builder, when you proceed through the build it process and all these answers that you answer these questions up front, you're going to know them, and it's going to make it very easy for you to get ready to be able to occupy your new home. The conclusion to the building guide is basically what we're going to do is as a premier builder of self-help, that's what we're going to do to you and give you the consulting advice that you need. NexGen is proud to be part of a history of, you're actually setting history yourself. You're doing what our forefathers and founders did long before us. And we're going to help you through that process to make it easier. Then there's 4 basic questions you have to answer when you're there. Is how do you transition from a construction loan to a mortgage? We're going to have mortgage people that's going to work with you, or you can choose your own mortgage team, but there's a time that they will tell you when it's the time to apply for your final mortgage. And that could be like when the drywall is finished or the painting is finished. Then we know what the timeline is by our schedule, and so you lock your time in and get your rate, your best rate, based on the reverse of the schedule, backing up to a certain date. And who are the members of your team? My wife and I is leading the team. We've got multiple designers and a lot of people on our team to help get the construction built. We have subcontract builders, licensed contractors that come in and actually put the house up for us under our supervision. How do you maintain your new home? We're going to have a manual that we give up that lists all your subcontractors, all their phone numbers, and so you'll be able to know who did what. And if you have an air conditioning problem, you're going to know who to call. You pick up your little handbook and be able to take care of any maintenance issues. The attitude that you gain and the homeowner experience, we're going to do everything we can to make that positive and very enjoyable for you. This is a house that I wanted just to show you that we have down here in Jupiter, Florida, a spec home that we built. It's 1,810 square feet. As you know, Jupiter is probably about 5 degrees warmer than it is here in Melbourne. It's a little bit further south, but this particular house, we've had it open since March the 20th, and we have a separate meter that only controls and measures the AC equipment, which means it's also measuring the whole house air cleaner and anything associated with the air conditioning. Heat, we have to put heat in it by code, but heat's not an option in Jupiter. Just like it really, you don't have to worry about heat here. We have meter readings that we take, and this is what we do. We guarantee, because we will take your house plan, once your house plan is done, then we're going to send it off to our energy team in Texas, and they have proprietary software which they will take it and design the AC system and what size equipment you need so we don't oversize anything. And then they're going to calculate based on the Florida Power and Light's current rate of what it should take to cool that house a month. And then we as a company and them as a company will stand behind that and guarantee it for 2 years. If it costs more than what we say, then we're going to pay the difference for 2 years. Now, this particular house here was analyzed, and they said and came up with a number that would be $39 a month on an average to cool and heat this house across the board. Now, we've put a little chart together here to show you these meter readings since March. Now, the red line at the top is our $39 a month. Now, the blue line is what is actually running. So you can see that we're nowhere even right now, in August the 6th, we're not even getting close to topping to the 39. Now, the average that we feel in this house here is probably going to average about $20 a month. So that's why we feel comfortable guaranteeing it at 39, because we've got some comfort level built into it, and I can tell you we've never had to pay one off. But I'd be happy to pay $10 or $15 if you called me up and told me it went over, because that's great advertising. This is a house that we're building down in Melbourne Beach right now. It's about I think it's 1,576 square feet. This is an airline stewardess that has been friends with our family for 45 years. And so she bought a canal lot down in Sunquest Park. No, not Sunquest Park. Crystal Lakes, I'm sorry. Crystal Lakes. So this house is hopefully going to be started in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we've laid out a chart here to show that particular house, and it actually shows that once we get to permitting, there's about 30 days worth of permitting. You got to allow for the county and all this stuff. You don't go turn it in today and pick it back up tomorrow. Maybe in Malabar you might, but not in Brevard County. So once we start though, we actually, if I know you probably can't see this on there, but we actually start manufacturing your house while this process of getting the permit is done. So we have this 3-week time built in there. So whenever you get that permit, we're getting ready to pour that slab, put the underground plumbing stuff in, and then the day after that slab is, we're ready to deliver the house and start putting it up. And that's what makes the speed of our project, because you're going to look there and it's about 4 days worth of work for us to put this house in place and deck it in and on the 5th day and dry it in, so after the first week it's ready for you to bring in your rest of your subcontractors to start going to work on the inside, and then we will do the work while that's going on whatever terms we come up to and whatever finish you want on the outside. As you complete the dream, design, build endeavor, these answers will come into play in your new house. And we look forward to the possibility of working with you and helping you become an owner builder, and hope that you will be extremely happy, and we want to do everything we can to make you happy, and then that you would refer us to someone else, because our business is basically built off referrals. We're sometimes the company that nobody knows about because we ship actually to northern Alaska, and we've shipped to all the Caribbean, a lot of resorts down there we ship cottages down to that they use for domestic housing. But our website is nexgenframing.com. My phone number is right there. It's my cell phone. You can reach me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. My wife don't like to hear that. But I'm there to help you and make your experience as happy as possible. We're about saving you money. We're about rent versus buy. It's going to be cheaper. We're about building you a fireproof house, because all our house is designed to be non-combustible material, and insurance companies like it. In fact, on your builder's risk insurance, you can save up to 70%. You get up to 70% discount through Zurich International. So if you just find a local independent insurance company that writes for Zurich, they'll give you up to, and this is a deal they have actually worked out with the Steel Framing Alliance. So this is a national deal. It's not something that we do. And then we encourage you then to start shopping early to local insurance companies. We built a house out here in West Melbourne for a couple, and I tell you, this lady she was a shopper, and they had in a house existing in West Melbourne that they were paying $3,600 a year for their homeowners policy. We built them a similar size 3,800 square foot house off of Sheridan Road, and she wound up getting her insurance for $1,200 a year. So that's $200 a month in savings. So what we say is if you will spend a little bit more money and build the shell right, and we're not against contractors, but when you hire a contractor to build your house, his goal is to build it as cheap as he can build it and put as much money in his pocket. And nobody faults him for that, because that's the American way. What we want to do is help you build the best house and the best frame structure possible, because 100 years from now, it's going to be the same. We want you to build a house that your grandkids could live in, because that's the way we want that structure built. You can remodel it, you can add crown molding, you can change the cabinets, change the tile, carpet, anything you want to, but you only get one chance to put that structure in, and that's what we concentrate on. And we want to build it energy efficient, because with these energy bills what they are today, I can quote you a 1,500 square foot house that we've designed. We'll basically show you would save $104 a month on energy cost. You'll save $20 a month on maintenance costs, because you don't have to have any termite maintenance or anything like that. You don't get no nail pops in the roof, because all of our trusses are all bolted together. You also get an insurance savings ongoing. So you basically have $159 a month in savings on that house. So that's less money you got to pay out of your pocket. So I use the analogy that if I come to you and said I would give you $159 a month for the rest of your life, would you give me $50 back to go take it to the mortgage company? Because we may have to spend a little bit more to build that house. But in the bottom end of it, if you look at it, you're going to enjoy the savings, and this is savings that goes on for life. And with what's happening in the world today and the oil prices and the fluctuations, I can only imagine that energy prices in 5 years will probably double what they are today. So that savings would actually then double, but the mortgage payment will stay the same. You can get a 30-year fixed mortgage, but Florida Power and Light is not going to give you a 1-year fixed power rate. They may average it for you, but they won't give you a guaranteed fixed rate. So, but our house is designed to withstand hurricanes, so the next hurricane that comes, unless it's a super bad, I'd never tell anybody to stay in a really, really bad hurricane, but chances are your house is going to be better than where they tell you to go evacuate to. And we're going to put all impact windows in it. We're going to do everything we can to build you a house to withstand up to 180 mile an hour winds. And I doubt we're going to get too many hurricanes. I've lived in the Atlantic region all my life. I've been through Hurricane Hazel in 1954 in the Carolinas when it wiped out everything. I've seen Hurricane Andrew and all these other things, and we feel from a wind standpoint we can engineer and build you a house to withstand the winds. So between the fire savings and the storm savings, we feel that we can have you a house that's real important for you. So with that, I appreciate it. I want to answer any questions anybody has. I'll be happy to take all the time as necessary and answer questions for you now. And also, I want to ask you to please make an appointment and come out to our factory in West Melbourne so we can do a one-on-one with you and start the process and show you how your house should be built. So far, I've had a great track record. Anybody that comes out there and really understands what they're going to get doesn't want it built any other way.